We've all been there. Those teenage years, it can feel like a total whirlwind of change, pressure, and just trying to figure out your place in the world. It's a journey of self-discovery for sure. But what if we could give young people today a better map to navigate it? It all kind of boils down to this one big question, right? When young people are dealing with so much pressure from friends, from school, from inside their own heads, how do we actually help them build a rock-solid sense of who they are and what they're worth? A huge piece of this puzzle starts with the story they tell themselves. That little voice in your head, well, for a lot of teens, it gets hijacked by this relentless loop of negative self-talk, of harsh judgments. And pretty soon, that story doesn't just shape how they see themselves, it starts to dictate what they think they can even achieve. And tangled up in that negative story are two really heavy, powerful emotions: shame and guilt. There's a crucial difference. Guilt says, I did something bad. But shame cuts deeper. It says, I am bad. And that feeling, man, it can weigh a person down, quietly wrecking their mental wellness and their self-worth without them even realizing. But here's the good news. There are people out there being proactive about this. So let's talk about a program called Own Your Story. It's a new initiative specifically for the youth in Brooks and the County of Newell, and it was created as a direct, hopeful answer to these exact challenges. So what is Own Your Story exactly? Well, it's this really cool interactive program for high schoolers from grade 9 all the way to 12. And the goal is both incredibly simple and incredibly powerful: to help them build up their confidence, to find their own resilience, and to forge a really strong, positive sense of who they are. And here's what makes it so legit. This isn't just some feel-good assembly. The program is delivered by qualified clinical counselors from LifeTalk Counseling Services. That means these kids are in a safe, professional, and supportive space to have these really important conversations. Okay, so let's get practical. What do students actually walk away with? The whole idea is to build them a kind of mental toolkit, one they can pull from for the rest of their lives. And this toolkit is seriously comprehensive. Yeah, it covers the basics like identity, but it also dives right into the tough stuff. For instance, it tackles addictions, not as some kind of moral failing, but as what they often are: a coping mechanism. Just reframing it like that is huge, because it opens up a real pathway to emotional healing. This quote from the program really just nails it. The mission is to equip them. See, it's not about handing them all the answers. It's about giving them the tools to find their own answers, to navigate whatever challenges life throws at them, and to do it with real confidence. So you get the tools. What's the end game? This is all about turning those new tools and skills into a much stronger, more resilient future for these kids.
And there's a clear path to get there. The journey to owning your story is a step-by-step process. First, you gain self-awareness. You actually understand what's going on inside. That awareness naturally helps boost your self-esteem. Then, you learn healthy ways to cope. And all of that comes together to build real, lasting resilience.
And get this, the potential impact here is massive. We're talking about reaching between 500 and 600 students in a single semester. That's a huge slice of the local youth population. And how they're doing it is just wow. With a funding request of only $3,500, LifeTalk Counseling Services can bring this entire program to 600 students. Let's do the math on that. That's less than $6 per student. Less than the price of a movie ticket for skills that can literally last a lifetime. It's an incredible example of how a small, targeted investment can create this huge positive ripple effect. So when you zoom out, you see that Own Your Story is so much more than just a program. It's a vital piece of the community's mental health support system in action, actively building a more hopeful future for its young people. So, just so you have it on your radar, this vital program, run by the amazing pros at LifeTalk Counseling Services, is all set to go from September to December of 2025. And that really leaves us with this final, powerful thought. A program like this is incredible for the 600 kids it's going to reach. But just imagine, what happens when this kind of emotional toolkit becomes the norm? What happens when an entire generation grows up knowing how to own their story? Now that is something worth thinking about.